The wine hit my face before the glass stopped moving. Cold, sticky, red running into my eyes like a slow bleed. Laughter followed. Not loud, not wild, just enough to sting. My wife's sister leaned back in her chair, smiling the way people do when they think they're untouchable. "Thanks, Dad," she said, clapping once. "Maybe that'll teach him some respect." Her father didn't apologize. He wiped his hand on a napkin like he'd spilled something on the table instead of on me. I felt my fingers tighten around the back of the chair. Wood creaked. My heart didn't race. It slowed. That was the moment something inside me clicked into place. Not anger, not humiliation. Clarity. I stood up slowly. Let the wine drip onto the white tablecloth. Let them watch. I took my phone out, unlocked it, and walked toward the hallway like I needed air. No one followed. They thought the show was over. I made one call. "Start the release," I said. Then I hung up. They had no idea who they were dealing with. I married into that family because I believed in restraint, in patience, in the quiet power of letting people underestimate you. My wife used to say that was what she loved about me, that I didn't need to dominate a room to control it. What she didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I had already been living inside suspicion for months. The disrespect wasn't new. The dinner was just the first time they said it out loud. There were signs before the wine. Small fractures. Phone calls that ended when I entered the room. Her laughter changing tone when a certain name appeared on her screen. The way her father looked at me like I was temporary. Replaceable. I told myself I was imagining it. I wanted to be wrong. On New Year's Eve, when her sister laughed and her father humiliated me, it wasn't just about power. It was confirmation. They knew something I didn't. Or thought I didn't. I didn't confront anyone. That's what they expected. Instead, I watched. I watched my wife leave early for meetings that never showed up on the calendar. I watched the way she guarded her phone like it was breathing. I memorized patterns, dates, locations. At night, while she slept, I stared at the ceiling and let the pieces arrange themselves. I hired no private investigator. I didn't need one. I requested phone metadata through a corporate compliance contact. I cross-checked timestamps. I pulled archived access logs from a shared cloud account she forgot we ever synced. Still, I said nothing. At dinner tables, I smiled. At family gatherings, I nodded. When her sister smirked, I let it happen. Inside, I was mapping exits. The hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was the precision of it. They didn't just lie. They coordinated. Her father's company had quietly moved assets months ago. Transfers that only made sense if they expected legal turbulence. If they expected me to break. The proof arrived on a gray Tuesday morning. A file. Encrypted. Stamped with dates I already knew. Messages, hotel invoices. A recorded call. Not just infidelity. Collaboration. My wife wasn't cheating with a stranger. She was involved with a man tied directly to her father's business. Someone positioned to step in once. I was pushed out. I sat at my desk and drank my coffee. No shaking hands. No screaming. Just a quiet understanding that my marriage had been a long-term strategy session I was never invited to. That night, I placed the printed report on the kitchen table. She walked in, glanced at it, and froze. I didn't look at her right away. "Read page 7, I said. Silence stretched. Her breath changed. Paper rustled. When she spoke, her voice wasn't angry. It was afraid. "I can explain." I finally met her eyes. "I know," I said. "That's why I waited." The dinner invitation went out 2 days later. New Year's leftovers. Same table. Same seats. I wore a clean shirt. No tie. Her father raised a glass, like nothing had happened. Before he could speak, I stood. I didn't raise my voice. I connected my phone to the television. The room went still as the first audio clip played. Her sister's smile faded first, then her father's. Then my wife's face collapsed into something unrecognizable. I let it all play. The messages, the planning, the jokes at my expense, the certainty that I'd never fight back. When it ended, I picked up my coat. I didn't call to threaten, I said calmly. I called to document. Her father tried to speak. I didn't let him. "Your accounts are frozen. Your partner has already cooperated. And the board received everything an hour ago. I turned to my wife. You laughed when they humiliated me, I said. So I made sure the truth did worse. Then I left. I didn't feel victorious driving away. I felt empty, but it was a clean emptiness. The kind that comes after surgery. I moved out that night, changed numbers, closed doors. Weeks later, I heard what happened. Resignations, lawsuits, silence. My wife sent one message. I never thought you'd do this. She was right. Neither did I. But I learned something important at that table. With wine on my face and laughter in the air. Respect isn't demanded. It's enforced. Quietly. Precisely. And without ever raising your voice again.